that live in the mansion, they know it that. I got some that's up in the jungle, they know it that. I came on top of the building, yeah, we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Ground, this is Lamar Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Reset.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion, went just shy of the marker. Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Daquan Jones in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down.
but this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They will indeed snap it to Watson. That's to his running back, complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Third and long, it's Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down. They've already gone for it and made it once on this opening drive. They're going to try it again on fourth down. Watson now to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Able to convert on fourth to bring up first and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Moncrief to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. No gain on the play there. Second down. On second down, Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
to throw here. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And this will be a touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Now Moncrief to return. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garrett. The give is to Elliott. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
They'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Coney Ely in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. Watson on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Fuller. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Come back, come back. Reset.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A first down carry now for Miller. Finding room to the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's a give to Miller. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 9 yards on the run there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. You give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try the air now with Watson. The quick slant caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Daquan Jones in on the tackle there.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Watson now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Off of play action, it's Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, Are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again to Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. On third down, Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 10. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 6 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Out of the gun, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Watson now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Here's Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a handoff to Miller. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on second is Watson. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Lamar Miller. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Here's Watson now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Come back, come back. Green the line. Green the line.
From the gun, here's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Steven Anderson, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Texans continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Now Moncrief to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They go to Elliott again. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they do.
Here's Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Look good, though. The Titans on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Come back, come back.
After the interception, here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Griffin. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Miller. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Texans on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Tiger, down. Green,
From the gun, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. On 1st down, Watson. A deep ball for Ellington. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now, Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Griffin. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. He's going to float this one deep right side. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that